welcome to another episode of Eye on Dubai. I'm Zanella Morrison. The United Arab Emirates has been the fourth largest investor in Africa over the past 10 years. Investment from the UAE to Africa hit nearly $60 billion over the decade. Ion Capital Partners Limited's Chief Executive, Jubril Anakele, is joining us to break down their African-focused investment banking firm based in Dubai. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a very interesting conversation looking at Ion Wealth. It's become the first investment advisory firm in sub-Saharan Africa to secure a license from the United Arab Emirates from the regulator. Could you share with us some of the strategic insight into this decision to operate specifically from the UAE? What was the process of securing the license? How did you go about it, and where are you now in terms of operating in the UAE?
Well, thank you for having me. Well, it's probably better to start by saying Ion Wealth is a subsidiary of Ion Capital Partners. And Ion Capital Partners is designed to provide financial advisory and corporate finance solutions to Africa-based clients. We are on the continent and we do deals here in the continent. We've done transactions, corporate finance and financial advisory transactions in Nigeria, in Liberia, in Cote d'Ivoire, and in Kenya. And we also have a subsidiary that is registered in Kenya called Ion Capital Partners Limited East Africa. And we're doing transactions there with one of the largest logistics players in Kenya, as well as working on an agriculture commodities transaction as well there in Kenya. We have a subsidiary in Nigeria licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission that operates in the capital markets of Nigeria. Ion Wealth is a subsidiary of Ion Capital, and it's based in Dubai. We provide multi-family office services to our clients. And even though we're an Africa-focused company, we're allowed to provide services to clients all over the world. Now, moving to Dubai, the strategic decision to operate out of Dubai was one that we considered deeply. And if you think of the relationship Africa has had with global financial hubs, whether it's London or New York, Paris, Switzerland, it's typically been focused in that direction. We do things differently at Ion, and the intention for us is to open up a gateway to Asia. And Dubai has very quickly become a strong international global financial hub with all the advantages that we typically would get from other regions. Obtaining the license was surprisingly, for us, quite straightforward. There were set guidelines that we had to follow. There were processes we had to go through, and the regulator was quite friendly and welcoming in their approach towards onboarding Ion. We did use legal counsel on the ground, which made things a lot easier. But it's a decision that we thought through very carefully, and we have not regretted it since.
And what's interesting with the role that you are playing now is that you're dealing with a very complex, very different, each country in the continent is so different. How is Ion Capital and Ion Wealth just uniquely diverse to be able to cater to these to the needs of the client in all these different regions?
And that's a very good question. Because Africa is not a country. We have 54 different countries that make up the continent. Ion Capital is uniquely placed as an indigenous, on-the-ground financial advisory firm and corporate finance boutique. As mentioned earlier, we have successfully done transactions in different markets in Africa. I myself used to be head of Director of Corporate Capital Markets and Treasury Solutions at Deutsche Bank London. I looked after over 20 countries in Sub-Saharan raising over $10 billion into Africa. Fortunately, we've been able to leverage on that experience at Iron, and we've done transactions in different markets and diverse transactions as well. The good thing about the relationship between Ion Capital and Ion Wealth is um, people do business, not necessarily companies. And the people behind those businesses also need to manage their wealth. So there is a symbiotic relationship between both companies and they complement each other. So whilst Ion Capital works with corporates and sovereigns and subnationals in some cases uh, to raise debt, equity, mergers, acquisitions, everything in between debt and equity, whether in the private or capital market, Ion Wealth is uniquely positioned to work with clients, family offices, family businesses, family foundations, family trusts, and indeed some HNIs, well structured in partnership with our professional partners in the UAE to manage their wealth. And the UAE and Dubai in particular has provided us with a new vista of opportunity. It presents us with new a new platform to be able to engage with clients who hitherto had not had exposure to the Asian market.
So in order to do this, you have to also, I suppose, give us a view of the Ion Wealth managers. You talk about a multi-family office, the FZCO, that's also positioned to service family businesses. How does the UAE's business environment enable you to be successful offering such services, and how does it even give you an advantage to be based there and still be able to operate within this family-focused approach?
It's been fantastic, I'll be honest. Dubai alone this year is estimated to have about 4,500 millionaires relocating or moving their businesses to Dubai. That in itself provides a strong ecosystem for African business people and HNIs, family offices to network and cross-pollinate ideas. But if we speak about Dubai, uh, not just from that point of view, it has strong financial infrastructure. We are exposed to products and investment opportunities that hitherto we typically don't have exposure to the Asian market in certain other markets. But Dubai, being placed in Dubai, puts us in a position to offer our clients a new set of investment possibilities and options. Dubai itself is a friendly location. The regulators are business focused and solutions driven. And it's been quite refreshing working with our regulators, the Dubai World Trade Center Authority out of Dubai. And so far so good. It's not been an issue at all. I think we are uniquely placed at Ion because most other family offices that we see and deal with some of our clients are focused on providing solutions out of places like London, New York, Luxembourg, sometimes Switzerland. We, as you mentioned earlier, are the first company in sub-Saharan Africa to obtain this license from the DWTTA. So that puts us in a very unique and a different position to offer different solutions as well to our clients.
I think that was very well explained. I mean, the idea that your presence there opens up the opportunities far wider, even for your clients. But whilst you navigating the regulatory environment in Dubai, you also have to navigate it for your clients. How is it that Dubai and the UAE is set up in such a way that this is possible and is not a hindrance to business but an enabler to business? Because the regulatory environment is often the most constraining environment for any investor wanting to invest out of their home country. So what are they doing differently that enables you to do it for yourself and for your clients?
So the job of the regulator is complex. It's it's not just about bringing in new investors and investments. It's also about safeguarding investors, existing investors, and even existing investors. So it's not an enviable job. Having said that, I've dealt with regulators in different parts of the world, and our regulators out of Dubai adopt a very business-friendly and solutions-driven approach. So we work with our regulators to come up with solutions. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean they're less stringent. It just means they're more accommodating and a bit more flexible and take our own concerns and our own issues to heart when coming up with solutions and ideas. In addition to all of this, Dubai is very uniquely placed. It's a gateway to Asia. That's how I like to describe it. And it has all the infrastructure, all the amenities to make investors, to lure investors in and to keep them there. I think the time difference as well also helps. Travel to Dubai from most countries in Africa is not difficult. Before the visa ban, we had over 20 flights going from African cities into Dubai. That has reduced somewhat since there were visa bans between the UAE and different countries in Africa. But we expect all of that to ease off. Having said that, I think Dubai has presented itself, even from a lifestyle perspective, from a cultural perspective, as a real good alternative to African investors. It has become a reputable financial hub and a financial destination for most investors we see in Africa.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's clearer that they've definitely positioned themselves as the financial management hub for the world. So we're only watching and seeing how you'll progress over the years, and we'll be here at Focus On. Thank you so much. That was Jubril Anakele, Chief Executive for Ion Capital, which is part of Ion Wealth Partners Limited. Thank you so much for your time and insights into the African investment landscape in the UAE. So let's wrap it up for today's episode of Eye on Dubai. Until next time, from me, Zanella Morrison, it's goodbye.